The year was 1593. A chill settled over the German village of Fulda. Villagers gathered, their faces grim, their eyes fixed on a young woman named Agatha. Agatha, a midwife known for her healing touch and captivating beauty, now stood accused of witchcraft. Whispers of her potent herbal remedies and rumours of a strange affliction, sores that marred her lovely face, had reached fever pitch. Agatha, they claimed, was in league with the devil. The flames of the pyre reflected in Agatha's wide, terrified eyes. Her pleas of innocence fell on deaf ears, drowned out by the jeering mob. What the villagers, blinded by superstition, failed to recognize that Agatha suffered not from a demonic influence, but from a then little understood disease called syphilis. Centuries have passed since Agatha's tragic demise, but the embers of that archaic fear still flicker in the shadows of our modern world. While we no longer build pyres and burn pretty girls, the digital age has provided new platforms for public shaming and persecution. Social media, with its instant connectivity and often unforgiving mob mentality, has become a breeding ground for a new breed of witch hunt. Today, accusations of promiscuity and the stigma surrounding STDs have replaced accusations of consorting with the devil. The methods may have changed, but the underlying current of fear, ignorance, and the eagerness to ostracize remain eerily familiar. The year is 2024. We live in a world saturated with technology, a world where instant connection is just a swipe away. Yet, amidst this digital revolution, a silent epidemic is raging. A surge in sexually transmitted diseases. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention reports a 30% increase in STD cases since 2020. These aren't just numbers, they represent real people, often young adults, grappling with the physical and emotional toll of these infections. Dating apps, with their promise of instant romance and casual encounters, have revolutionized how we connect. Yet this ease of connection comes at a price. A 2023 study by the National Institutes of Health revealed a disturbing trend. Dating app users are 3 times more likely to contract an STD compared to those who don't use these platforms. This finding underscores a critical issue: the disconnect between the ease of finding partners online and the responsibility of practicing safe sex. The stigma surrounding STDs remains a significant barrier to open communication and consequently to effective prevention and treatment. Many individuals, fearing judgment and social repercussions, remain silent about their status, perpetuating a cycle of transmission. Untreated STDs can lead to severe health complications, including infertility, pelvic inflammatory disease, and an increased risk of certain cancers. The resurgence of STDs is not merely a personal health crisis, it's a societal issue demanding urgent attention. The parallels to the witch hunts of old, fueled by fear and misinformation, are impossible to ignore. We have the knowledge and the tools to combat this modern plague, but it will require a collective effort to dismantle the structures of silence and shame that allow it to flourish. The witch trials, a dark stain on European history, raged for centuries, fueled by fear, religious fanaticism, and a profound misunderstanding of the natural world. History reveals a disturbing truth. Beautiful women were far more likely to find themselves branded witches. A 2017 study by Oxford University Press, analysing over 3,000 witch trial records, uncovered a stark statistical reality. Attractive women were 67% more likely to be accused of witchcraft than their less striking counterparts. The very attributes that would normally be celebrated, clear skin, a youthful glow, a captivating gaze, were twisted into evidence of something sinister. The tragedy of the beauty witch phenomenon lies not only in the societal prejudices that fueled it, but also in the tragic misinterpretation of medical conditions. Syphilis, a devastating disease that could cause sores, rashes, and even neurological damage in its later stages, was particularly susceptible to such misinterpretations. The sores associated with syphilis, known as chancres, were often seen as Satan's kisses, tangible proof of unholy communion. The witch trials may be a relic of the past, but the echoes of that dark chapter in human history still resonate today. Social media, with its potential for both connection and cruelty, has become a breeding ground for modern-day witch hunts. The case of actress Bella Thorne, who faced a wave of online abuse after bravely disclosing her herpes diagnosis, is a stark reminder that the stigma surrounding sexually transmitted diseases persists. In the throes of the witch hunts, nothing inflamed the imaginations of the fearful more than the visible manifestations of disease. Lacking the lens of modern medicine, they attributed these physical ailments to supernatural forces, twisting the agonies of the flesh into proof of demonic influence. Syphilis, with its ghastly progression of symptoms, was a scourge upon Europe during this era. The first stage, marked by the appearance of chancres, open sores typically appearing on the genitals but also on the mouth or lips, was a particularly potent source of terror. These chancres, often painless but highly contagious, were viewed not as symptoms of a treatable disease but as the devil's grip, physical marks left by the touch of Satan himself. The ability to bear children, to ensure the continuation of family lines and communities, held paramount importance in the social fabric of early modern Europe. Infertility, therefore, was not merely a personal tragedy, but a source of deep societal anxiety, often attributed to supernatural forces. Women accused of witchcraft were often blamed for cases of infertility, both male and female. If a couple struggled to conceive, it was not uncommon for the woman, especially if she was already viewed with suspicion or envy, to be accused of casting a Barren Curse. Untreated STDs, particularly chlamydia and gonorrhea, could cause pelvic inflammatory disease in women, leading to scarring and blockages in the reproductive system, often resulting in infertility. The tragedy of the witch hunts lies not only in the cruelty inflicted upon the accused, but also in the profound misinterpretation of the natural world that fueled these persecutions. The symptoms of STDs, conditions that we now understand and can treat effectively, were twisted into evidence of witchcraft. Women, often those who were already marginalized or viewed as different, became scapegoats for the fears and anxieties of their communities. Their very bodies turned against them in a tragic miscarriage of justice. Five centuries have passed since the height of the witch trials, and while we may like to believe ourselves more enlightened, the digital age has revealed a disturbing truth. The impulse to shame, to ostracize, to punish those deemed different or impure remains deeply ingrained in the human psyche. The Pyre may have been extinguished, but the digital age has erected a new platform for public judgment, the unforgiving court of social media. In this digital landscape, accusations of promiscuity and the stigma surrounding STDs have become the new scarlet letter, branding individuals, often women, with a mark of shame that can be difficult, if not impossible, to erase. The case of actress Bella Thorne, who bravely chose to publicly disclose her herpes diagnosis, stands as a stark example of this modern-day witch hunt. Thorne, instead of being met with empathy and support, found herself on the receiving end of a torrent of online abuse. The digital age, for all its advancements, has amplified our capacity for both compassion and cruelty. Social media, with its instant connectivity and potential for virality, can quickly transform whispers into roars, personal struggles into public spectacles. In the past, an STD diagnosis, often shrouded in secrecy and shame, might have been shared in hushed tones, confined to whispered conversations behind closed doors. Today, however, such personal information can be broadcast to the world with a single click, shared, commented on, and used as ammunition in the court of public opinion. Regardless of the form it takes, the impact is undeniable. Individuals living with STDs are often made to feel like outcasts, their voices stifled by fear and judgment. The enduring power of stigma lies in its ability to silence. When individuals living with STDs feel unable to speak openly about their experiences for fear of judgment, discrimination, or even violence, the cycle of shame and misinformation continues. The World Health Organization estimates the stigma surrounding STDs prevents a staggering 60% of individuals from seeking testing or treatment. Untreated STDs can lead to a range of serious health complications, including infertility, pelvic inflammatory disease, and an increased risk of certain cancers. This lack of knowledge, coupled with the fear of judgment, creates a dangerous breeding ground for misinformation and harmful stereotypes. Beyond superstition, the unseen enemy. While the witch hunts of the past were fueled by superstition and a profound misunderstanding of the natural world, Today, we have the benefit of scientific knowledge and medical advancements. We understand that sexually transmitted diseases are not curses inflicted by malevolent forces, but rather infections caused by viruses, bacteria, and parasites. This knowledge, however, has not entirely eradicated the stigma and fear surrounding these conditions. We now have a much clearer understanding of how sexually transmitted diseases are transmitted, how to prevent their spread, and how to effectively treat many of them. Antibiotics can cure bacterial, sexually transmitted diseases like chlamydia, gonorrhea, and syphilis, while antiviral medications can manage viral sexually transmitted diseases like herpes and HIV, significantly reducing the risk of transmission and long-term health complications. Despite these medical advancements, a significant gap remains between scientific understanding and public perception. Misinformation and outdated beliefs about sexually transmitted diseases continue to circulate, perpetuating fear and discrimination. This disconnect highlights the urgent need for comprehensive sexual health education that goes beyond the basics of reproduction and contraception to address the social and emotional aspects of sexual health, including the importance of open communication, consent, and respect. A modern scourge, HPV and cancer, the link between certain sexually transmitted diseases and serious health risks, including cancer, is one of the most sobering aspects of this issue. Human papillomavirus, the most common sexually transmitted disease, is a prime example of this connection. Human papillomavirus is a group of over 150 related viruses, some of which can cause genital warts, while others can lead to various types of cancer. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, human papillomavirus is responsible for approximately 34,800 cases of cancer each year in the United States alone. These cancers can affect the cervix, vulva, vagina, penis, anus, rectum, and even the back of the throat, oropharynx. While most human papillomavirus infections clear up on their own without causing any health problems, certain high-risk types of human papillomavirus can persist and lead to cellular changes that, over time, can develop into cancer. The good news is that we now have a highly effective vaccine that can protect against the types of human papillomavirus most likely to cause cancer. The human papillomavirus vaccine is recommended for preteens and teens, ideally before they become sexually active, but it can also be given to adults up to age 45. Vaccination, combined with regular screenings for cervical cancer, has the potential to significantly reduce the incidence of human papillomavirus related cancers. As we've journeyed through the annals of history and the digital landscape of our modern world, a chilling truth emerges. The flames of ignorance and fear, though taking different forms, continue to burn. The witch hunts of old, with their brutal persecution of the innocent, may seem like a distant horror, yet the echoes of that era reverberate through the centuries, reminding us of the dangers of misinformation, stigma, and the scapegoating of the vulnerable. The women branded as witches, often ostracized, tortured, and killed based on superstitious beliefs and a lack of medical understanding, serve as a stark warning from the past. Their stories remind us that progress is not linear, that the human capacity for cruelty is often intertwined with our deepest fears. Today, while we may no longer build pyres, the digital age has given rise to new forms of public shaming and persecution. Social media, with its potential for both connection and cruelty, can quickly transform whispers into roars, personal struggles into public spectacles. The digital scarlet letter often taking the form of slut-shaming, online harassment, and the spread of misinformation can be just as damaging as the physical marks of persecution inflicted upon those accused of witchcraft centuries ago. The parallels between the witch hunts of old and the stigma surrounding sexually transmitted diseases today are a stark reminder that we must remain vigilant in our pursuit of knowledge, compassion, and understanding. We must challenge misinformation, confront prejudice, and create a world where individuals feel empowered to prioritize their sexual health without fear of judgment or discrimination. This begins with education. Comprehensive sexual health education, rooted in science and delivered with sensitivity, is crucial to equip individuals with the knowledge and tools they need to make informed decisions about their sexual health. This education should extend beyond the basics of reproduction and contraception to encompass the social and emotional dimensions of sexuality, including relationships, communication, consent, and respect. We must also work tirelessly to dismantle the structures of silence and shame that allow stigma to thrive. This requires creating safe spaces for open and honest conversations about sexual health, where individuals feel comfortable seeking testing, disclosing their status, and accessing treatment without fear of judgment. Healthcare providers play a vital role in this effort by providing accurate information, offering non-judgmental care, and advocating for policies that promote sexual health and well-being. The fight against stigma is a collective responsibility. We must challenge harmful stereotypes, speak out against discrimination and online persecution of individuals, and support those who have been affected by the weight of judgment and misinformation. By choosing knowledge over fear, compassion over cruelty, and understanding over ignorance, we can rewrite the narrative, extinguish the brutal and outdated burning flames of persecution in social media, and create a world where sexual health is valued, prioritized, and respected. We must not return to the brutal past, burning people at the stake or burning them online. Both are shameful and must be eradicated. Otherwise, nothing has changed in 500 years, burning people online or burning them at the stake. Each of us must stand up and reveal modern humanity. Surely in 500 years we have progressed, haven't we?